trustee permission, right? Nikolash, Jan, or Dave?
Mikulash is with us. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear us clearly. Mikulash, please say hello so we can see if the sound works.
Hello, I hope it works. Sorry for me not participating personally. It was just like not perfect.
That's fine. I'm just going to, could you pass me the remote there? All right, we're just adjusting the tech to make sure everything is working nicely. That should be plenty. All right, thank you so much, Mikolash. No, it's working fine for me. Should we close that window so we get less background noise, maybe? I mean, we've aired out the room. We can open it again in an hour or so. But we need to try and be efficient. We are still waiting for 2 people. We're still waiting for Mob and Jan. So we'll wait 5 more minutes. Well, we can wait till 10 past, and then we'll try and get started as soon as possible. We'll start sooner if they show up, of course. And while we're at it, hello to all our lovely subscribers on YouTube out there. Stay safe. Mob has arrived. Welcome, Mob.
Hello.
Hello. Sound is working lovely. Good to have you with us. And we also have Jan with us. Just give us 2 minutes to get everything in order, and we'll start at 11:05. All right, so we are ready from our end over here at Le Fer du Canal over in Brussels. So let's get started. So today's meeting aims to finish after around 1 hour. So let's try and keep everything short and sweet. So we want to start with the formalities, and that means electing a meeting chair. Do we have anyone who would like to be meeting chair? Mikuláš, would you like to chair the meeting?
I would honestly prefer not to do so, especially concerning the fact that I'm not physically on site.
Okay. Is everyone okay with me, Bo, Sarah Hjalmarsson, chairing the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then we have elected a meeting chair. Point 2 is election of a meeting secretary.
Sorry.
Do we have anyone who would like to be meeting secretary?
I could have secretary of the meeting.
Okay, so we have Alessandro. All right. Is everyone okay with Alessandro? Can we get an acclamation, please? Yes. Thank you. Then we have elected Alessandro as meeting secretary. Next is approval of the agenda. We have all had a chance to read the agenda. Can we approve it as is? Or do we want to add anything? No additions to the agenda, no changes to the agenda. We approve it as is. Can I get an acclamation?
Yes.
Thank you. You guys as well who are online. You need to say yes. Okay, is there anyone against? All right, I interpret that as everyone being for. So let's continue. We have approved the agenda. We also need to approve the minutes of the last meeting. You've also had a chance to have a look at this. So we can do this by acclamation as well. Can we approve the meetings from our last meeting? That is meeting number 2 of the 9th board. Yes?
Yes, just give me a second to grab the link so you can have it.
Okay.
Because approving without reading is just...
All right, we just need to give Alessandro a moment.
It's this one. Okay.
The link is also
the third
in
one.
Yeah.
Is it? No, it's not in the
second.
Right?
Today's meeting is the 3rd one.
Yeah, I'm in the link. So the link.
All right, so we're going to vote in,
The pad.
we're going to vote in the pad, so please go to line 89 and write your name under yes, no, or abstain. So line 89 in the pad. So if anyone has any trouble with this, please let us know. And I think that's everyone. Okay, excellent. That's everyone. Thank you so much for voting. We have 5 votes for and 2 abstentions. So that means that the minutes of the last meeting are approved. Thank you so much for voting. Next, we move to point 5. And that's the confirmation of any decisions taken between meetings. Let's see, I'd like to hand over to Mob for this point. Mob, would you care to give us a summary?
1 second, I'll just get to the right line. Yes, you had one decision on budget allocation, and it's all in the pad.
Okay, excellent. So it's on line 92. And we need to vote on that. We can vote.
It's for 96.
Yes.
Because there was one decision taken between the meetings.
Yes. So this is, again, line 96 in the pad. And I would like you to write your name, just as in the previous procedure. Okay, I think we have everyone. Yeah, Young. Okay, everyone has voted. Thank you very much. And that means point 5 has passed. Okay, we're breezing through this like a tornado. That means we are now on point, let's see, 0.5.1. We've done that one. We are on point 0.6, written reports. Do we have any written reports? No, no written reports. Do we have anyone who wants to make a verbal report? No?
It's not.
Okay. It doesn't seem like we have any, so let's continue. And that puts us on our, that completes all our formalities, and we move on to point 1 of the agenda, which is decisions without discussion. And for that, we're going to look at point 1.1, time and place for our next board meeting. And I would like to direct you all to line 114, where the next board meeting is proposed to the 4th of July at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit more time in case you need to check your calendars. But we can vote the same way as before. Nope. We're waiting for one more person, so we still need to wait a little bit longer.
So the proposal is next board meeting will be held the 4th of July at 18:30 CEST online, right?
Yes. Yes, that is online. Yes, correction. Yeah, does that work for you?
180.
I'll have until next one.
Okay. And that's everyone. Thank you very much. That confirms that our next meeting will be held online on the 4th of July at 6:30 p.m. or 18:30 Central European Time. Thank you very much. Okay. And thank you, Alessandro, for your note-taking. Okay. Our next point is decisions with discussions. So let's take a look at those. Before we start, there are two main points here, 2.1 and 2.2, where the first one is recognition and appointment of Marketa as PPEU's bank account owner, and the second one being PPEU calendar for the rest of the year. We also have the membership situation of PPCH, so the Swiss party, the 2.4, the donation scheme, and 2.5, correspondence by email with the board. I would like to ask Mob if there is anything that you would like to add to these points or comment on.
I think everything I have to add or comment is already in the pad.
Okay. So let's take a look at that first proposal. 2.1, regarding Marketa as the PPEU bank account holder. All right, so I'll just read it out loud for the record. PPEU uses FIO or FLO? FIO Banca, a Czech bank account. Marketa currently owns it and appoints people as managers when needed in order for them to access and operate the account. She stated her willingness to continue in this role and help us gaining and rotating access to the account. The board thanks Marketa for the offer and agrees for her to stay owner and facilitate the onboarding of bank account managers from PPEU. So please vote, same as before.
This is with discussions, yeah.
Yes.
Do we have an alternative?
Just move on.
Yeah. All right. So, for our next point, just a moment, please. Just want to make sure I have not missed anything important. Okay, they're set up now.
Yeah, because usually we vote on the discourse or the form of
All right, I would like to inform everyone that we now have the votes set up in discourse. So please continue to this link that Florian has posted, and we will do all our next votes from there. Thank you very much, Florian. Okay. Now, I don't think there's anything else to add there.
Yeah, I have something to add.
Yeah? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just
Alessandro.
yeah,
You have
thank
the
you,
floor.
thank you, Chair. Regarding this point, I was in a conversation between Florian, that thanks you, and Marquetta as well. So after this decision to continue to have Marquetta as a bank account owner on behalf of the PPU, we organized a meeting. We organized a meeting together next July 10th, where I will be in Prague. So if it's possible, because last time I did it in 2020, February 2020 with Mikuláš, it was basically impossible to do it. But because we already did it with Veronica this time, you know, that it was actually nominated by this board as acting treasurer. So she was acting. So basically, transfer all the money on behalf of me and the board. So if it's possible, I will meet Marquetta in Prague next July, and she will add me to online banking account. So I will be able to proceed. I mean, to act as a treasurer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alessandro. That's very good information. Now, I'm going to have to ask you all to repeat a step here. And that's going back to that page and making sure that you have voted. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the page for myself.
click on the link and
Yeah.
flash on it.
Yeah.
First item, yes.
Okay. So we have 5 votes. Do we have anyone else who wants to vote, or do we have all of them? I mean, no abstentions. I think we've pretty much covered this. I'll give you just a few more seconds, and then we will continue with point 2.2. All right. So, point 2.2 is the PPEU calendar for the rest of the year. The meeting calendar for the board and the council meetings for the rest of the year have been suggested and is on our discourse. And the the proposal is that the board approves the following calendar for the European Pirates. On June 23rd, there will be an online council meeting. On July 4th, there will be a board meeting. This one will also be online for clarification. September 11th will be the deadline for member parties to apply to host the November council meeting. September 12th will be a board meeting. October 17th will be another board meeting where we decide on the agenda for the November council meeting. November 14th is another board meeting. And November 24th is another council meeting. This will be online unless it is hosted by a member party. It can be moved if hosted by to the 23rd to 24th of November, 30th November to 1st of December, or 7th to 8th of December, if hosted by member party to accommodate their needs. On the 11th of December is the deadline for member parties to apply to host the February council meeting. December 12th is a board meeting again. And 16th of January is another board meeting to decide on the agenda for the February council meeting. 13th of February is another board meeting, and 22nd of February is the following council meeting, again online unless hosted by a member party. It can be moved to the 21st to 22nd of February, 28th of February to the 1st of March, if hosted by a member party to accommodate their needs. So this, of course, is something we can discuss, but we will vote on it in...
Give me a second.
Yeah. Just need a moment here for Florian. And we will be able to vote on this in discourse. In the meantime, does anyone have any comments, questions, or suggestions?
Even for the calendar or?
Yeah, for the calendar.
I might be absent on September 12th, but I will try to get online because I'm traveling at that time. But it doesn't really make sense to move it forward because we will not have the possible parties to host the November council meeting. So yeah, I'm absent for like 3 weeks, but I hope that I will have the internet and the accommodation at the time so I can join online. That's the only thing.
We appreciate the heads up.
Yeah.
Alessandro?
Yeah, I'm a bit lost because I just forgot one main thing. When this board will be discharged? At the end of this year? In 2020? End of this year, right? So does it make sense to approve an agenda that involves another board?
But there's a council meeting in November, and then there's another council meeting in February. I assume the new board will be elected in February?
Okay. That was my question. That was my question.
Yeah, I think you're concerned about the fact that we've had resignations.
No. Apart from that, resignation. Unfortunately, we cannot. We have to decide an agenda, and we will decide with the vacant positions. The thing is, we are now voting through an agenda that involves this board, right? So the last board meeting is February. It will be planned for February February 3rd, 2025 for this board meeting. For this board, right? Not for another board. Am I right?
Mob wants to say something here, so just a moment. Mob,
Yep.
Alessandro, do you have anything
Yeah,
you want to add?
done.
Okay, Mob, your turn. Go ahead. Floor is
Yes,
yours.
yes. To answer Alessandro, this board has its last meeting in January, and at the February council meeting, the next board will be elected.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Mom. So this is our agenda, not our and the next board agenda. That was my question. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Do we have any further questions? No, it looks like we've dealt with all the discussion. So please, if you haven't done so already, proceed to vote. Okay, let's see if we have that. No, there is no hand raised. Okay, right now we're just waiting for everyone to vote. Do we have a reply? Okay, we're missing one vote. Okay, well, it seems to be fully in agreement there. Ah, thank you. Now we have all our votes. All right, that's that topic covered. We're moving through this nicely. So thank you for this topic. Now we continue with point 2.3, the membership situation of the Swiss Pirate Party. So we need to confirm the status of the Swiss Pirate Party, if contacts or actions were taken. They're going to be at the next council meeting and apply. So we need to make sure that everything is in order. The proposal is that the board confirms that the Swiss Pirate Party has requested membership and that everything is in order for them to take part in the 16th council meeting. Mob, do you have anything you would like to add here? No?
Sorry,
Do we have any?
I just needed to find my speak button. So
That's okay. Please let me know if I'm going too fast.
it basically says that to become a member, they need to have sent an email asking to become a member, and they fulfill that criteria. After that, it's up to the council.
Did they send this email?
I think, yes.
Okay, so this is only to make sure that everything is good. Because this point was in the last board meeting and it should have been discussed further, but it wasn't updated. So it's to make sure that everything is okay now.
From what I can see, if the board says they have applied to become a member and it's in the minutes here, then that should suffice.
May I just to just relieve you all the complete information about this. So basically, what happened today at the last council meeting in Luxembourg, they were considered no more a member, active member, because they failed to pay two consecutive membership fees for 2022, 2023, and of course they they didn't receive the 2024 membership fee because they were not member anymore. After that, I was in contact with her chairperson, and it came to that they had just their bank just refuses to pay, but they tried to pay us. They succeed to pay all the previous membership fees. So, and you can see it in our transparent FIO Bank link. And they also paid the 2024 membership fee, even though, of course, they haven't received the invoice yet. So this, I mean, from my point of view as treasurer, provides all to the board all the information that they want to reapply for membership. So as soon as the next council will accept that they are back as member, ordinary member, I will send them the invoice that has been already paid actually for 2024. That's the status quo. Thanks.
Thank you for the update, Alessandro. Does this answer your question, Florian?
Yep.
Okay, lovely. Do we have any further questions or other input? No? Okay. Since we don't have any further input, let's continue and proceed to vote. Again, we do this in discourse. So please scroll down to 2.3, membership situation of PPCH.
Just a second. I'm reading the
Alessandro?
proposal. Yeah, because the proposal is the board confirms that PP Switzerland has requested membership and that everything is in order for them to take part at the 16th council meeting. I mean, to take part, yes. I mean, that council meeting should approve their membership.
Yeah, but that means that they are allowed to come and defend their membership request, basically.
Okay.
Like it's basically to confirm that the membership request is on the agenda.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, thank you.
All right. Thanks for the input and the clarification, Florian. Much appreciated.
I'm confirming that yes, the application is effectively in the agenda. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're just waiting for a few more voters. Okay, almost there. Okay, I'll just give it a few more seconds. And then we will proceed to the next point. And, okay, let's continue. And again, if I am going through this too quickly, please feel free to just, say, hey, you're going too quickly. All right, we're at 2.4, donation scheme. So the donation scheme review and vote should have taken place in discourse, which did not happen. The proposal is to adopt it now. Another alternative is to set up an asynchronous validation process, giving time to every board member to review it. So the donation scheme is linked to in the agenda. And every member of the board should have had a chance to read through this. Okay. So this did not have a lot of comments. So does anyone have any thoughts or feedback on this? I suppose, Mob, do you have a summary of the discussion that's been going on? I know there wasn't much going on in discourse, but did you notice any particular questions or standpoints that are worth bringing up?
As far as I know, the board has not discussed this.
Okay. Well, this is something that may take time if we discuss it. But I'm assuming that since we've had so much time since the last board meeting, that everyone has had a chance to read the proposal. Okay, Florian.
Yeah, so the idea here, because I am drafting the proposal and it looks awesome to me, of course, I would want everyone to vote on it. But given that certainly only Alessandro and me in the board have had our eyes on it, the alternative which is suggested in the minutes is to task someone with overseeing a validation process. And this validation process will be something like we revive the thread on discourse, we send it to everyone by any means, we give a deadline after which comments can't be received anymore. Once all the comments are here, we assess if it should be modified or not. Once the final draft is here, then we open up, we seek the approval to open up a vote, and then we all vote on it. So either we vote on the approval now of the current text, or we say to someone that they should actively make sure that it is down the line reviewed and approved.
It looks fine to me. I think we can approve it, or we can have the council do it.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, right now what we have to do is to decide on the proposal we want to vote on. We approve it now, we submit it to the council meeting, we task someone, most probably me, with harassing everyone to gather inputs, and then making sure that it's voted on at some point, and that's it.
All right. Thank you, Florian. And Mob has his hand up. So Mob, go ahead. The floor is yours.
So I had a quick scan on Discourse. It's been there for 3 months. The only one who's made comments are me and Alessandro. And it was updated to accommodate some of my comments. And this is the updated version you're now voting on. So you've had, 3 months, more or less, to look at it. And if you haven't done it by now, odds are you will not do it just because you get a little bit more time. And if any one of you look at it in the future and realize you want to change things, you can still change it then. So my advice would be for you to approve it so you have a policy. This is a policy that is adopted by the board, so you can inform the council about the fact that you've adopted this policy, but you don't need any approval from the council for this policy. They have not asked you to make a proposal for them. This is not something that they need to be directly involved with. This is a practicality that can be decided by the board. So if you adopt it now, from my point of view, it would be in effect starting directly after this meeting is over.
Okay, thank you for that input, Mob. Personally, I also agree that this is a useful start, and I think we should vote on it as is. I'm comfortable with it, both as a pirate and as an anti-money laundering professional. Do we have any other thoughts on this? Any other inputs?
I don't. I already said a lot and clear that I love it. So
because I talk about crypto in my last comment.
No, it was before. Also, it was also before. You look. Everything is plain text, black and white. My first comment was, I have to admit that I really love this schema. Simple, fair, transparent, very well done.
Thank you.
Florian.
Thank you.
Well, if Alessandro, you say so, then
Then it is.
I trust you.
Okay, so we have almost everyone here. What about Mikolas? What do you think?
I'm fine with the concept. Like, makes sense to me. This is proposed.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
Could you repeat what you said, please? Not everyone heard what you said.
I'm fine with the concept.
Okay, fine with the concept. How about how about doing it like this? Does anyone have any further input? If so, please speak up. Is anyone against proceeding to approve or to vote on the approval of this proposal? All right, I interpret the silence as that there is no one against voting to approve the policy, which means we can proceed to vote on the policy and you get a lot less work, Florian.
Or rather, the implementation work will start.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes, that's true. Okay, so please proceed to discourse and provide your vote. Okay, we'll give it a little bit of extra time there, say another 30 seconds or so. All right. Well, thank you so much for voting on this topic. It's great to see the engagement. All right, and with that, we are done with point 2.4, the donation scheme. And that means we can continue with point 2.5, which is correspondence by email with the board. So the issue is that there is incoherence in the way the correspondence is handled. There is some discussion about this in discourse, and there is a link to this discussion in the agenda on row 165? 165, for those who want to take a quick look. All right, so there seem to be at least three problems with the board emails. The first and least is that the current rules of procedure for the board state that emails to the board should be sent to pp-eu.board.private@lists.europeanparty.eu. But the correct mailing list is pp-eu.board@lists.european-party.eu. The solution to this seems to be to update the ROP. Point 2, the board email listed on the web pages under contacts is board@european-pirateparty.eu. After checking with IT, it has been clear that the address sends to a previous board. This will need to be sorted. The third and most important problem is that the board doesn't have any procedure for applying to emails. In short, while the ROP state that the board must answer emails from PPEU members and their members, there is no individual tasked to make sure this happens. And as a result, it does not happen. There is also no one responsible for the archiving on discourse that is also required by the ROP. And there's some discussion following here. But our job today is not to go through this in detail, but to consider the proposal. So the proposal is that the board tasks someone to handle the matter and suggests a correction measure to submit asynchronously for validation or to the next board meeting. So there are really three things that need to be decided here. We need to determine who needs to handle the matter. And
how.
Yes, and how.
Because this is the bureaucratic thing to do. We have someone come up with a proposal and then we review the proposal. But if in reality we have emails which are addressed to the current board who are sent to the previous board, that's a big issue, and that shouldn't need 3 steps validation to apply corrective measures. So the scope of the proposal is up for discussion now, essentially. So my idea is that we task someone to fix it, and they don't necessarily have to ask for approval of correction. The only thing is that if some internal regulations or text need to be updated, of course, these texts will be approved for updates. But the corrective measures as such, they don't really need to be validated in 3 steps by the board.
That's fair. But before we can vote on anything here, we actually need to suggest someone to take on this task. Do we have someone already at this meeting who is willing to take on this task?
I can do it.
Okay, Florian?
Yeah.
You're willing to do it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So in that case, we have a team. Okay, so that means yes. Okay. So the proposal is now the board tasks Florian with the help of Cal to handle the matter, to take corrective measures, and to submit synchronously for validation or to the next board meeting. Forgive me for the grammatical corrections there, but I do work as an English teacher.
Make the correction in the text, please. And this way I don't have to think, I will simply take it up. Thank you.
Okay, corrections made. Anyways, does anyone else have any thoughts on this? Any ideas or other input? I don't see any raised hands.
Input to to the email correspondence, or?
Input to the proposal. Do you feel that the proposal is okay, or should we make any changes to it? Other than at the editorial level. No? Okay. In that case, I think we're ready to move on to voting. So it's the same proposal that the board tasks Florian with the help of Cal to handle the matter of taking corrective measures and to submit asynchronously for validation.
Wait, this is not the right place to be voting.
No.
Let me do the room.
Okay.
This is.
We need to make an adjustment there. Okay. We're just waiting for a moment for
maybe I'm
some
confused.
adjustments.
It was the right place to be voting.
Okay, just let us know when you're ready, Florian. There. Okay, thank you, Florian. So it's important to make sure that you're in the right thread.
So the info board third meeting votes, and at the bottom of it you might find.
Copy the link here. I'll copy the link.
Thank you, Alessandro, for copying the link.
This is A or B.
No, discussion without decision. I mean, you don't have to decide.
No, it's of a discussion.
Give me a moment there, guys. Okay, let's take a look at that vote, and it looks like everyone has voted. Thank you very much for your votes. That means the proposal has passed. And we can move on to the next topic. Point 3. So these are going to be discussions without decisions. And the first one is 3.1, following up from the team building weekend that we've had yesterday and the day before. So maybe we can start with Mob there and see what your thoughts are. And then maybe Florian after that. And then we'll continue and see who wants to add stuff. Mom?
Sorry, my thoughts on the team building weekend. I thought it was very useful. I think the board needs to make sure that it won't sort of fade away, and I will try to make sure that you get all the documentation that I get from the facilitator and send it over to the board as soon as possible. I also think you need to figure out how to tie the ideas you had here into the normal process of decision making within the organization. What needs to be taken to the council? What can be decided by the board? How do you make sure that the ideas you have are properly decided on and moved forward with?
Very good points. Thank you. Just for clarification, like I said yesterday, I am willing to and committed to taking all the notes that we had, both the notes from the Friday meeting and notes from our meeting or our workshop yesterday, and turning that into a simple report so that we have something tangible to move forward with. And this is partly because I need to report back to my own party, and I need to do this writing anyway. And I write faster in English than I do in Swedish. So this shouldn't take long at all. I just need to make sure I get the documentation from yesterday. Anyways, that was just a little reply there. I think we might as well move through everyone, but I know Florian had some thoughts specifically, so go ahead, Florian, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
So I definitely had thoughts, but I don't know if I had thoughts now, because my head feels very much empty when it comes to the team building. Obviously, it was nice and energizing. I will make sure that some stuff doesn't die out. I will wait for your report and compare it with what the previous board has in mind, what things were started out. I will also, of course, work on the few issues we decided on now, and most of all, try and work to make sure that everyone who is interested or who reaches out to us doesn't end up being ghosted or directly discarded. Yeah. And on everything that concerns what the board can do, what the council meeting can do. I was already planning on reviewing everyone's procedure and making sure that we indeed have this flexibility mindset or possibilities already in our functioning. In the case of the boards, it should have been there in the updated rules of procedure that was adopted by the 8th board, in the sense that everyone is authorized and entitled to develop any project of them, until the point where it needs money or some kind of approval. But yeah, basically the spirit is zoom around, and you don't have to ask for permission until you have to.
I'm wondering, should we present a sort of report of this day we had yesterday to the next council meeting?
Are you targeting the November council meeting or this one?
This one. November is too late. I mean, this one.
So then the question would be for Bo, if you think having this report out in the coming days is possible?
Yes, I will be sitting with the report this afternoon.
Okay.
Whether it will be completely finished by the end of the day, I have my doubts, but I'm pretty sure it'll be ready in time for the council meeting.
then I will be, I can in a few clicks or with Nicolas make sure that it's sent out to the members and available for them to read on the wiki as well, for example. So yeah.
Yeah, for example, and maybe I don't know if there will be time, but just a short, because we will be there next at the next council meeting. So because you send document out, they just maybe don't have time to read or to have that, but just have this point, even in any other business, just to say.
But this should be submitted in the form of an information. Yeah,
information, but
from the board, just to make sure. It's like something up to
something
debate.
happened, and we want to to let them know, and
yeah, that's it. Okay.
To comments also, right? There's no decision or nothing, but just to have everyone on track, informed of what we are doing, right? Beside official and bureaucracy.
You both have excellent points. Like I said, I'm going to be sitting with the report today, and I will do my best to get it done as quickly as possible. But I will try and keep you guys updated as much as possible, and I am confident that it will be ready in time for the council meeting. In part because I have to report it to my local board.
Okay, so
before the council meeting.
Okay. So you do for them, you do for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So I think that report is going to be a first step. There were some analyses and assessments in our schedule or in our vision plan. I think it might be an idea to think a little bit about how we could set those up and where we should schedule them. But ultimately, I think we should try and allocate some time for the board to work on developing some of the first steps in more detail, since those first steps are going to determine how we actually end up running the roadmap. But this is just a suggestion. I know you all have busy schedules, but I would suggest trying to find some informal time to meet up, discuss ideas, and that we try and include an update on this at every board meeting we have. Any thoughts on that? No.
I think it's pretty much fair to have a running release and some live updates every time we meet each other, especially if we're not meeting as close as we did in the last 2 years, right? So this is the third board meeting in the year, so
we should that's because it's been election year.
Yeah. So but still, we don't need to wait the board the meeting of the board to keep us in touch. That's the point. So I totally second the let's say Florian concept that if you don't need any permission, just go and do whatever you need to do or what you want to do. And then you stop just when you say, oh, I need to get money, so I have to have permission to spend money, or I need to have this sorted out, signed out by the chair or whatever, the treasurer, whatever, so I need permission, right? But no formal permission, just do it. That's how it works.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. Another thing that is important to consider here is that when we start to when we decide on that roadmap, we need to make sure that we are consistent So we need to establish a way of working with this that can be transferred between boards. Meaning, we should set up a preliminary roadmap that goes all the way to 2029 before the next board meeting, and then we need to hand it over to the next board. Now, we don't need to decide on how to do that at this point, but we need to be aware of it, and we need to make sure we are confident in how we're going to hand things over. Do we need to transfer any permissions, for example? But I think that's something we can deal with more when we decide who will be responsible for different aspects. And I don't think we're really in a position to think about any of that until the report is ready.
Yep.
All right, so I think as a first step, we can just write down or document that. I will write a report and try and provide that as soon as possible. Okay, other than that, I don't really have anything to add on this point. But I think it would be nice to hear what everyone thought about the workshop, what it gave them. So how about Petra? What did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the workshop. As I already said yesterday, I think it gave me like an optimistic overview of the future, which I didn't have prior to that. There are still certain questions, and I feel that the plan is very optimistic and in some points not very tangible. But I think this is because it's a prediction or it's a 5-year plan, so it has to be worked on a bit. Apart from that, I'm looking forward to the future and to continue working on whatever plans we made. And also I feel there are certain points that I would like to start working on right away. I already have a deal with Mikolaš to continue working on the Slovenian part of EP Prekletne, which is EP Aktualno in Slovenian. And that is one of the things that I'm really looking forward to work on. And also, as we said, we're going to get in touch about the pirate identity, which you worked on, and I would like to work on within Slovenian pirates. So there are certain points in the near future that I'm looking forward to and are tangible for my part. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really nice to hear, that things have gone from feeling hopeless to feeling like there's opportunity. Jan, what about you?
I think it was on one side interesting, at the other looking at it from the other side, like it may have been. I mean, like I know it's been planned before we knew the election results, so of course, like no one could have known how exactly it turns out. But it may have been more. But that's more of a Captain Hindsight remark. But it might have been a bit more helpful if we have done in this workshop a bit later when we already knew like how exactly will things turn out, especially with Marketa trying to negotiate with different subjects. Because of course, if there will be, should there be any changes to the current constellation, so for instance, if someone joins PPEU, or if there are new observer members, then we will have to readjust the vision that we just agreed on. So there might be a need for a similar workshop in the future again. But again, like no one could have predicted that. Like if the election turned out more like last time, then it would probably be much more straightforward.
Some interesting points there. I mean, a lot of organizations do these sort of exercises regularly. So maybe you're right. Maybe we should try and do more exercises like this in future. No worries. Mob just needs to leave the meeting. So thank you, Mob, for attending.
I had a question for Mom, but
Oh, the kids. I mean, he hasn't like disappeared off the face of the earth. So, all right. Let's see. Mikolash, what do you think of the workshop? And what's your response?
Well, I said yesterday, thanks for organizing it. It was actually, from my point of view, very useful exercise, or would be especially useful should we kind of like be able to adapt the conclusions. Of course, as said previously, there is a problem in the continuity between the boards, and maybe a little bit like discontinuity in the visions of the particular members. But certainly, I think this is very worth and useful to organize. And once again, yeah, I think it is actually useful to involve in our activities professionals like the facilitator we had there, who actually know how to organize this exercise. Because honestly, none of us who have been elected to the board, I guess, would know how to orchestrate or how to facilitate this thing. And it's no shame to actually get an advice and from outside. So I would certainly recommend to the future boards, don't try to, let's say, reinvent the wheel. Don't try to uh, to create this procedure on your own. There are professionals, just like follow their advices.
Excellent point. I think you're absolutely right. It's very important for us to bring in external competence, especially when we see that we don't have what it takes. Yeah. Thank you, Mikolash. Alessandro, what are your thoughts?
No, I already said everything yesterday and this morning. These are again useful exercises, and I totally agree that visions are not immutable. So Jan is right, also Mikolash is right. But the thing is, and also Petra is right. I mean, it's fine that we are a bit visionary because we are planning a future, 5-year future. So the thing is, all these occasions are good occasions to empower not only ourselves but also our organization. That's the point. So if we don't touch base from time to time, and if we do not exercise, if we're not forced to stay 1 day, 2 days focused together on thoughts that really matters, we are basically not doing anything, because we are just bureaucracy, right? And the border is bureaucracy. It's not useless, because bureaucracy is part of the game, but it's not something that should be the only thing we're doing here. That's the point.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think we just have Carl left there. Carl, would you like to share your thoughts?
I'm hopeful for the future, and I have nothing to add.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Thanks everyone for your input and for your hard work. Let's see. All right, so we're done with point 3.1, which means we're also done with the discussion without decisions, and that brings us to the very last point, which is 4.1, reimbursement to Florian and Mikuláš for Pirati stuff. And I think we need someone who is a bit more familiar with the topic to describe this one.
And it's not Florian, it's me. No, so
Go ahead, Alessandro.
now I'm in a double position of being treasurer of the PPEU and a Pirati member. So actually also one of the top candidates and also the one who presented the list in Milan last April. So as you all know, we were rejected because the change of the law in Italy. We appealed first to the Cassazione Court, and will be rejected as well. So now the plan is to appeal to the European Court for Human Rights. That will be done. We have 4 months, so we'll be done for sure. The first phase is costless, so it will be done 100%. And if they accept our appeal, then probably we will find a lawyer to sue against the Italian government. Because of the violation of the state of law, because basically they changed the law just 1 month before the election, and this is bad. We're not gonna do like this, like Florian, right? So it's bad. Let's try to get at least some media attention because this is political and civil rights issues. Nonetheless, maybe some money untouched. But in the meantime, we do thank you. We as Pirati, the Italian party, we do thank you, Mikuláš and Florian, that tried to fulfill all the conditions to try this list to be presented, meaning that they had some expenses apart from the time that they spent in Brussels to the embassy, to the Italian embassy, to get the things done and to send it out to Italy. So they spent around €70, and Florian just now present to all the invoices to the treasurer, that is me again. And I would like to reimburse them on behalf of PPU. The good news, using the proper emergency budget that we have set, it's €1,000. So whenever I can, I will reimburse Mikuláš and Florian as well. It's around €70, I can't remember, it could be 72. In the meantime, I saw that last week Pirati made a donation of €75 to our FIO Bank transparent account. So that it's there. You can. This is the link. I will put in the chat so you can see it. So basically, it will be, almost costless for the organization, but I think that it shouldn't be on Mikuláš and Florian pocket. Thank you. Give money to the people, please.
Wow, that's wow. That's a very important point.
Money to the people.
Well, both. I think it's amazing to see the solidarity between pirate parties and pirates, both in terms of trying their best to help out when there are clear violations of rights, and in terms of not leaving people hanging.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed for sure when we will present it, at least if the European Court will reject it, well, it would be unpleasant. But if not, then it will be a political issue. At least we can say it also at European level, because we are now appealing to Europe. The appeals to Italy has been already done. Voila. Three Italian
We're still on.
Hi YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, how would you like to phrase the proposal?
There is no proposal. It's not a proposal. I'm just inform the board that I will reimburse on behalf of the PPEU, on behalf of the board, Mikuláš and Pirati, Mikuláš and Florian for Pirati stuff.
Okay.
With for today's room has been already decided.
No, yeah, but I mean, given that we don't have access to PPEU money yet,
You mean now? You pay
we will
now?
have to pay for it. Usually, what they do is they send an email to pay the invoice online. Most likely, I will receive it, and I will forward it to our GA treasurer. But I won't pay for it, huh? But yeah, treasurer, you pay, huh?
Okay, that's great. With my own pocket. Because I still don't have access to the European private FIO bank account, so I have to pay all with my own pocket. That's great. Thank you. So I pay for it. Okay. That's fair enough.
Well, we need to make sure that that approval goes through. I mean, now at least we voted on it.
But
It is already approved.
when we are in the AOB here, technically we can ask Marketa to execute payments, right?
Yeah.
And we maybe need input from Mikuláš or Mab, but isn't she a tiny bit available these days? You know, if we only have a few payment requests to submit to her, maybe she has the time and space to do it.
I think that Veronica can do it as well, because I wrote her, as far as I understood, she still has access to the bank account. That also should be sorted out, because she also, she just dismissed her position. So at the very end, I think that we now decide that Marketa, we entitled Marketa to be officially owner of the bank account. I will
double check with you, but Veronica should still have access to the account.
I already checked. She had.
Because I remember that I should have sent.
She answered me like.
Okay, all good.
But I will sort it out. Either Marketa or don't worry, I will get the money. Don't worry. Or she can pay. She both can pay the invoice you will send to me.
Just I think before submitting a request for payment, we wait for this invoice to be.
Yes, exactly. To be sent.
Everything is done in bulk.
Perfect. That's perfect. 100%.
All right. So you have a solution for that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure it's all in paper and all in black and white.
We have everything.
All right. In that case, we are done with all our topics. It is currently. It is currently 12:30.
It's not really a topic, but is Mikuláš still online or?
Mikuláš is still online. Yes. You have a question for Mikuláš?
Well, sort of, because I was talking with Panda.
All right, Mikuláš.
This is
Jan,
for everyone.
yeah.
Not just for
So yeah, just to pay a little bit of extra attention, Jan has a question. So go ahead.
No, just to be sure. This is within the RB, right? Or without? It's within the meeting or outside the meeting?
It's any other business.
Okay.
There's no.
Perfect.
There's no
In the
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. It concerns the PPEU social media, which until now we're running through GitLab, but I heard from Panda that there were discussions with Mikuláš that it's going to be phased out. So my question was if there is any plan on it for the future, or if it's just we're going to go back to basically administrating PPEU Twitter, PPEU Facebook, normally or manually, just like through logging in there.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and the question requires answer. We are currently with Panda working on how to take care of the IT of let's say the former MEPs and also the IT of PPEU. What is clear is that his ability to actually take care of whatever IT will be limited because his contract in the European Parliament is significantly lowered. From that point of view, we are really now developing the plan how to resolve the situation. Some of the web pages and systems will be shut down. Some of them will be probably preserved in some lower activity mode. Some of them maybe I will help to maintain in future as well. This is to be discussed. What is now, I would say, more or less clear is the fact that we will have to shut down the GitLab most likely because it kinda lost its let's say relevance. The question is how to deal with Mattermost. That's open question because that's a little bit consuming, and also how to deal with discourse. Certainly we will do all the backups of the old data. The question is really whether to keep the systems open to the outer world. I would be quite happy to actually or I would consider important to keep Mattermost, but it would be also good to know your thoughts about it and your ideas about how to deal with these systems. One part of the problem is certainly maintenance, in the sense that somebody has to supervise it and work on it, which probably will have to be discussed. The other part is that the systems have to be paid, so there has to be some let's say finances allocated for that purpose. So all in all, I think it would be good, should within the board be discussed at least next time, what resources would want the board to dispatch for keeping the systems and where are the priorities. And I will also discuss with Panda how to approach it and what to keep, what are the costs for keeping particular systems, mainly the Mattermost and Discourse.
All right, thank you very much, Mikolas, for that summary. I think this sounds like it's a relatively large thing to discuss. So perhaps it would be good to include or to create a thread in Discourse so that we can have an asynchronous discussion about it, and then add this as a topic to our next board meeting.
Yes.
You're going, okay, then we'll do that. Florian, are you going to add it? Are you going to or create the thread? Are you going to be managing that?
Yeah, say that I'm doing the thing in the board minutes, and this way I have an easy way to find back what I need to do.
Yep.
When tomorrow I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Start my day.
Yeah. And I think that's everything, right? So, yeah, perfect. In that case, we are at
12:35.
Yes, 12:35. We officially close the third meeting of the 9th PPEU board. Thank you everyone for joining us, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Mute.